I am reviewing 101 Dalmatians, the original 1961 version, the cartoon version, and the Glenn Close one. Glenn Close when she plays Coilville from 1996 version, the remake. I have very, very uncomfortable and comfortable mixed feelings towards this. It's both good and also probably the worst. Disney. It is just that I felt, as most people say, I felt like 1996 is when I thought Disney was starting to run out of ideas what to do with movies, and didn't continue. And then I think 102 Dalmatians a pure movie and a pure sequel, because it actually takes a risk of telling of how it wants to tell and what kind of story it wants to tell and how it tells it and how it executes it fairly well. The sequel. The remake basically tells the same story, but from different points of view on the story. There's both cons and pros, as in good and bad news, to every side of each side of the same of this mess. It's certainly interesting. I'm just going to say it. When I saw the trailer, I thought, holy shit, this actually looks good. Then I saw the movie, and it wasn't bad. It just wasn't good like I was hoping it would be. It wasn't, I was hoping that there was going to be more, or just, I was hoping with the performance Glenn Close that was going to get, looks like she was going to get not only more screen time, but be more intimidating because she got more screen time. Only the fact that they didn't go that route. Yes, she got some more screen time, and it is technically more of a fleshed out character, and it's still an evil villain without any reason to feel sympathy for her. She's still a cold-hearted villain. But as it gets to the third, and as it gets more and more to the end of the film, she's turned into a fucking joke. As she first appears on screen, you feel like, holy crap, this is the Cruella de Vil I remember. Scary, like a scary version of Hannibal Lecter is how I always thought. Like, that's scary. Scary, but also fun at the same time. Because she's scary, she was fun. Because she was fun because she was so scary in the original. However, I think part of the reason why it's live action, why she is played by such a big actor, and part of the reason why it's live action, I think part of the reason is why we have to go soft on the viewers, because, the original didn't hold any punches with the original Cruella de Vil. This one holds punches, by taking it, instead of taking it to, at the third act, instead of taking it to the, darkest route possible to Cirque, they turn her into literally a fucking joke by having, I shit you not, the dogs outsmarting her and outwitting her by baking her into a cake while still being alive, with frosting on top and everything. Isn't this intimidating? Isn't this what you want to see from Cloverville? No, it's not what you want to see. I wanted to see now my Cloverville turned to a punchline by Lily being turned into a frosting cake. And we see her Lily getting mixed into the mixture, then getting frosting on it, and then getting baked alive, and somehow surviving it, and gets turned into a pastry. A pie pastry that can still walk and try and come off the chimney, and she walks like this. Like this up. She walks like a little, like someone's taking their first baby steps while she's in this cake. It's so fucking hilarious. And she's trying to, and Glenn Close is still trying at this point. She's just says, I'll get you, I'll rip you, I'll drown you, I'm trying to be intimidated while I'm dressed in this cake uniform. And she's like growling and yelling and saying all these nasty things. Well, she's literally a talking, walking cake. No one will take you seriously when you're a cake. It's just not possible to take someone seriously when they're dressed up as a cake or a banana. It's like having any mercy be taken seriously and scary and mysterious while he's dressed up as Black Gumby from Saturday Night Live. This has turned into an SNL sketch. Once they put it in here, it lost some serious points to me, and that's why it gets a 6 out of 10 because of that stupid scene. Now let's talk about the rest of the film. But the rest of the film is paced well, acted well, and the opponents, well, problems with it, it does how the outcome and build up of how main love interests that humans meet together. It's mostly it's creating tension without the build up. It's just weird. Most of the comedy. Remember how the comedy in the there was build up besides payoff most of the time in the original. Here it's just like most of the time this the payoff. But if we want to get to Cruellerville, I mean it's the first, I don't know, until they get married, feels incredibly lush, and I just want to fast through all of that all of this nonsense, because it's, you know, I take that back. This is not a 6 out of 10. It's a 5 out of 10. I take this back because this doesn't always show restraint with his pacing. You gotta show restraint to your pacing. Otherwise, this feels like you're rushing everything. And there's many certain points, many times in the beginning, in the first act structure, before Cruellerville comes, is when the pacing feels incredibly shoving. I kind of forget what's going on. Then Cruellerville comes in, and then then something happens, and she just gives maniacal laugh as she's exiting the room. Once the guy says, "What's the guy who goes to know about? No selling any of the puppies." And 50 minutes later, or 2 or 3 minutes later, the puppies are so stolen. And what's next? Oh yes, Cruella de Vil says her epic line that was horrifying in the original, but which is equally as horrifying in the remake, maybe more, because it is kind of close. So she says the line from line beat for beat, and she says, poison him, drown him, bash him on the head. I don't care how you do it, so do it now. And then she just lets out this maniacal laugh, or Cruella de Vil laugh. Okay, I gotta give it to Glenn Close. Even though this is not the best movie or role she's done, this is the best performance I've seen her give, because she literally feels like she brought Cruella de Vil to live action. That is when she's not being baked into a cake. I'm sorry, but I really hated that scene as a child. Yes, I saw this as a child, and I hated that scene as much as I hated it now. It didn't scare me, it didn't make me laugh, it just pissed me off. Because, wow. This is what you decide to do with that. Was one of my favorite Disney villains of all time. You decide to literally bake her into cake and frost her with cherries on top of the frosting. And it's not just a regular cake, it's a 3-layer giant cake, human-sized cake. Anyway, once it gets to the third act, the dogs become intelligent. More intelligent than Hugh Colville, and the henchman, and more intelligent than somehow the 2 protagonists of the film, which is the 2 human protagonists out of the couples whose personalities are forgettable, but performance-wise memorable, but personality-wise forgettable, unlike the original. So. Yeah, and Cloverville doesn't get arrested. She is taken to a mental institute while her 2 boneheads that she calls henchmen that couldn't do anything literally right in this one, unlike the original where they could do some things, but sometimes the times in the original where they come off competent. Here, they're just 100% incompetent and not intimidating. There's literally a butt of a joke, both of them. And then they turn Cruella de Vil in the last 15 minutes of the film, the end of the butt idea of a joke. By baking her, not baking her alive and having the cake, not having the baking mix and getting cooked in a human-sized oven into a cake, killing her. No, they have her alive and not disfiguring anything. No, she's just covering cake batter that's been freshly delicious looking with pink and white frostiness, looks freshly delicious looking with cherries and many cherries on the 3-layer cake. That is true art. Truly, isn't this what you expect? And what from 101 Dalmatian adaptation, in which Disney could make more and better adaptation like this today? No! I don't. And fuck you for saying that this is the best. It is not the best. It is definitely one of the weakest. However, it's not the worst. It's not unwatchable. It's still a fairly watchable movie. It is a fairly average movie. It is an average movie. That's why I gave it a 5 out of 10. However, it's not one of my favorites like the original. No, you're unwelcome. However, it's not one of my favorites like the original, which I give the original 1961 100 Dalmatian, which is, I guess it's pronounced 101 Dalmatian by word, and without the letters, or like the... I can't answer. Forget the thing exists. Which the original is pronounced two different ways. I looked up, and while the remake is pronounced, the way we all know, most of us expect 101 Dalmatian brand being named. And that's the only way for the remake. How it's spelled. There's two ways for the original house spelled, and there's... Stop calling me! Okay, she's doing homework. Okay, I see. Okay, I'm going to try to keep my voice down. So, where was I? Anyway, that's, one spelled one way, and that's the remake, and the original spelled it two different ways, so Google spells it this way, and everyone else spells it the remake spelled, so yeah, that's my songs on the Glenn Close 101 Dalmatians from 1996. That's my review. I give this a 5 out of 10. It is creative in some ways, but mostly average in ways. The pacing is off, especially in the first 15 minutes of the film. I mean, it gets bad as the film goes on. I would say that, but it makes so many stupid decisions by the third act. So yeah, it makes so many stupid decisions as a third act. I can't say I don't recommend this film, but I can't say I do recommend this film, which I guess it is worth watching. It's worth watching majority of the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movies, 2, 5, and 4 of the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movies, which I give the same rating to those Mission Impossible movies, a 5 out of 10, like I gave this 101 Dalmatian movie a 5 or 10. It is both all of these things that I listed off are creative, but they pay off in such a forgettable, mediocre ways. To me, it's not worth coming back to watch them on a regular basis, or one of my favorites movies of any time, or never will be one of my favorite movies any times ever in this life. So yeah.